suffering from anxiety, overwhelm, maybe constantly tearful. Yeah, I know what that one's like, and I've worked with many people that have experienced exactly the same. So I think the difficulty is that when you're in that constant feeling of anxiety and overwhelm, everything's coming at you, like 50 million things at a time are coming your way, and of course then you can't do anything, you can't go out anywhere, you can't really enjoy any life, because there's this constant underlying feeling that just won't seem to disappear or dissipate. And of course then your brain's going in so many different directions. That's a problem, that's a problem, that's a problem, and it just attaches to absolutely everything that you might be struggling with. And even, going through therapy, going to talk to somebody, again, you can kind of feel like I'm opening Pandora's box here. And this was me. I was opening Pandora's box, opening up emotion and issues, and then I didn't know what to do with it when I was on my way home from a therapy session. I was just literally stuck with it. And so there's a couple of things that I started to do and started to change, and it was really about just shifting my belief initially in order to just start exploring again and start being curious and things like that. And I think one of the things was I was in a state that I just felt like nothing would ever work for me. And so if I stay in that state of thinking nothing would ever work for me, one of the things that would then happen is I would do nothing. Like, I wouldn't make any attempt to learn anything, do anything, because my belief already was nothing can work. And of course, what did that do? It kept me in that state. Nothing changed. Every 6 months was the same. The peaks and troughs, I'm feeling better, but it was just re-triggered, and then off we go again and back through the same cycles. So me believing that nothing would ever work for me meant I never did anything to see if something could work for me, and so therefore I stayed stuck. Now this cost me years. I mean, I'd go to say it could even be into like a couple of decades of like that belief system kind of keeping me locked there. And so one of the shifts I needed to make was, it wasn't necessarily about positive thinking, because I hated that as well. Just think positive. Yeah, of course, if it was that fucking easy, nobody would have a problem, would they? So I had to develop a way of thinking that was more, okay, this probably won't work, but I'm going to try it anyway. This probably isn't going to help me, but let me try it anyway. And it was just clinging on to that area of hope and curiosity. And just, I think in the end, I developed this underlying belief that somewhere in the world, somewhere out there, someone has got a solution that is actually going to help me. And so it was just a matter of trial and error. Let me try this, does anything change? Let me try that, does anything change? And of course, my epiphany event came in 2014, where it was kind of forced on me really through near breakdown, that I then had this experience of releasing like suppressed emotions, but it was done in a very particular way. That was the thing that kind of blew me away. And suddenly I go from near breakdown to I'm calm in 40 minutes. That wasn't the end of the journey, just to think that you're going to get one session of something or learn one little skill and that's going to be the end of it. I had more work to do, but it was that definitive moment of proof. And I think that's what we're looking for, is just to be open-minded, to give things a try new things out there and see what happened to me, what was my experience. Because one of the things I know, and I've had this from one of our coaching ladies, Marie, she would always wake up feeling like really anxious on a Saturday morning, and that would be our whole weekend would be gone with anxiety, worry, and barely leaving the flat. And then she used one of the techniques that we've developed, the moving technique, and she would use that in order to clear this anxiety. And within half an hour, the anxiety would be gone, and she could get on and enjoy her weekend. So I think, and there's lots of things like, there's lots of different things out there of people that have experienced, and I think that was one of the other metrics I looked for, is have you been through, like if I'm looking at someone to say to you, have you been through what I've been through, and have you come out the other side? Do you have what I want? And that kind of started to fit my little narrative a lot more, rather than just somebody that had qualifications. Because as I discovered, just because they had qualifications, they hadn't experienced any of these things themselves. So they knew theoretically certain things, but they'd not been through it and solved it in any way that was meaningful enough to make any difference to me. So I know it can, I know it can feel so overwhelming when all of these feelings are happening. But one of the things as well is, much like having, there's practical problems in life. It might be money issues, other issues, this issue, that issue. It's the same with healing, is that we have to break it down into pieces. And so we narrow this focus down into a singular focus. Rather than our brain going to 50 places, we're going to bring it back into a singular focus. So sometimes that's focusing on one single issue, and other times that's focusing on the feeling that you have. I mean, one of the great things is that you can focus on a specific issue that is causing a problem and kind of clear that, or you can just have a feeling, follow a process, and you can change the feeling. So there's kind of two ways to go about it. Excuse me. But above everything else, if you are feeling really anxious, there's lots of overwhelm, and you're really tearful or crying all the time, one of the really great things about that is that your emotions are up. They're up and flowing. They're there for you. It's not like, it's worse if you're completely shut down, emotionless, and avoiding absolutely everything. Your emotions are right up there. This is one of the great signs that I always look for. It's like, right, but they're accessible. Now it's a matter of learning how to direct them in such a way that creates a healing process. So don't lose hope. As overwhelming as things can feel, when you've got traumas flooding your system and anxiety plaguing your life, it can feel like there is no hope. But just find a way to just think, I'm gonna try something anyway. I'm gonna try this anyway. Did that work? What was my personal experience? Okay, let me try another thing. Never give up hope, because one thing I can guarantee you, if you keep exploring possibilities of what could help and what could make a difference, if you keep that attitude and that activity, you will eventually find the way for you, like 100%. But if you stay in the trap of nothing will ever work for me, so I'm not going to do anything, I can guarantee you in 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years, you will be in the same place that you are now. And so now it's like, okay, well, which is the path that I would rather take? One that's got hope to find my answer, or one that's got absolutely no hope and I'm going to stay like this for the rest of my days? And that was a decision I make. I think it's a decision we all have to make. Only you can make it, but when you make it, it's like that sliding door moment, and you begin your journey of exploration and seeking a solution to find a way that works for you so you can get your life back. So never give up hope, okay? There's always hope. Just hopefully this video has been useful. I'd love to hear, for anybody that happens to see this, the 3 people that may see this video, your experiences. Drop them in the comments. I'm looking to reply to everything, and take care, and see you in another video. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, wherever you're seeing this. Subscribe. It will really help me to build this and start sharing more and more things that can be of use. Thanks very much.